Hey guys, so we have an announcement for a new platinum equipment for an ultra character. The thing with these is they don't actually give us a hint as to who this could be for. Whenever we have unique equips for Legends Limited characters, whenever we have Zenkais announced, there's always some kind of way to tell whether it's through the background or a hint given out who it's going to be for. For these platinum equipments, we go into this not really having any kind of indication as to who it is. Of course, we can speculate based off of the current celebration, based off of the when the time period when the character released. So I'm going to give my breakdown on what I think this could be for, but there is no actual definitive way to tell, as opposed to like every other like hint that we get in this game. So for platinum equipments, I don't know, for whatever reason, they always use the same background here. It doesn't really tell us much. So platinum equipment coming soon. This equipment is exclusive to UL characters and is immediately powerful without needing to upgrade or find stronger pieces. More info scheduled to release tomorrow. Yeah, so at the same time tomorrow, essentially in 24 hours from after this post was made, we'll get the reveal for who this is for, I assume. I do find it kind of ironic that they say immediately powerful without needing to upgrade or find stronger pieces, when the entire like premise behind the platinum equipment in this game is you need to have a 7-star ultra character, which is just like not feasible for most players. So I don't know if I like the wording on this, but let's open up the ultra character list here. To me, there are two characters that probably are just way more likely than all the other characters. So just to recap, we have a platinum equipment for Ultra Omega Shenron, we have a platinum equipment for Ultra Super Gogeta, Blue Kaioken Goku, we have one for Broly, and then we have one for Rose. So every other Ultra character on this list does not have a platinum equipment yet. I think for me, the obvious pick is Ultra Hit. I have talked about this character getting a platinum equipment for a long time. The fact that there are as many good yellows in the game as there are right now, I think Ultra Hit getting a platinum equipment could be a very, very impactful decision here. Then the other character is going to be Ultra Majin Vegeta. No, I'm just kidding. The other character is going to be Ultra Super Vegito. This is a character that I think by the end of the 7th anniversary, almost definitely will have a platinum equipment. It's possible that if this is going to be for Ultra Hit, I still think that at some point in the anniversary we will get one for this character. So could be this guy right now, but I think, you know, end of part 2, end of part 3 or something like that, they will drop a platinum equipment for Ultra Super Vegito. And the reason why I think that is because they dropped one for Super Gogeta during Legends Fest. It seems to me that they will go in order for these major ultra characters. When I say major ultra characters, they're ultra characters that drop in part 3 of Anniversary and Legends Fest. So Super Gogeta, then we have Super Vegito, then we have Blue Gogeta, then we have Blue Vegito. I guess then it would be UI, and then it would be Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and then Ultra Beast. So I think they would probably fill in the gaps in that order there for these like major celebration ultra characters. So we got this, guys. I do expect Super Vegito's next, considering we kind of skipped him, right? We have this guys, have Broly's, have Rose. So I mean, there's kind of a gap here for Vegito. There also is a gap here for Blue Gogeta. I don't want to say Blue Gogeta's off the table, but I think the two most likely candidates are Hit and Super Vegito here. So those are going to be the two that I'm looking at the most here. Other options, I think there are 3 other likely candidates. Not as likely as Vegito and Hit, and I think those are far away ahead more than these other guys are. But the next option is Blue Gogeta. Maybe they don't want to go in order, whatever the reason might be, but I think he's at least on the table. I think Ultra Kid Buu is on the table as well. Ultra Kid Buu is a character that a lot of people don't remember how annoying and toxic he was on release. People compared him to Ultra Rose in terms of how toxic these characters were. Ultra Kid Buu was a very annoying and ridiculously powerful character. I did think he was the best character in the game when he dropped. He was really crazy. The other character I think we actually could see this for is Namek Goku. This is a free-to-play Ultra. This is the first Ultra ever released. Remember, they do have the new app icon. I don't know really how much that factors into anything. It probably doesn't factor into anything, but they did change that icon to Namek Goku. For me, this character just needs a Zenkai Awakening. They need to start Zenkaiing these older Ultra characters, and I think that they want to start with this first ever free-to-play Ultra character, Namek Goku. That's probably the way they should do it. Again, maybe it's for him. I don't think they would do one for Vegeta. He just doesn't really feel like Namek Vegeta doesn't really feel like anniversary platinum equipment worthy pick here, but I think this guy is not off the table, but for me, I prefer Zenkai for him. But yeah, I would say Vegito, Super Vegito and Hit. For Hit, actually, you know what I should do? Let me pull up the most recent platinum equipment we got for Rose, because I think they actually did do a pretty good job with this. I think it could have been even stronger than what it is, but I think this is at least set the bar pretty high for these platinum equips. So Rose, remember platinum equipments have 4 slots. They just kind of changed the way that they do this with the last update. So he got 25% health. He got 50% to all base stats in slot 1. I think if I'm going to mainly be focusing on Hit. Super Vegito to me would probably just need like too many things to really narrow it down to stuff that I think he would need. Like I think Super Vegito would very easily need more than Ultra Rose got in here. But it's obviously possible for him to become a very good character depending on how they do this. So let's see. Hit, I think, would probably get the same treatment here. Let me actually, you know what? Let me pull up the last 2 equips just so that we have a better reference here. So we got Super Gogeta during Legends Fest. So Super Gogeta got 60% in the stats, 25% health, and blue card damage in here. What I would want for Hit in slot 1 is I probably don't think they need to change much from Rose's, but I would also add ultimate damage instead of special move damage. I'd put ultimate damage 25% and then probably just have 50% base stats, 25% health. Slot 2 for Rose, applies falling effect self when this character enters the battlefield, draws a card, 60% damage inflicted, and then minus 10 to blast arts cost. Yeah, this is probably something that I would want for Hit as well. Hit also, I believe, does not draw. I don't think he draws a card on entry, which is pretty big. I mean, he draws a green when you have his full gauge up, but yeah, he doesn't draw a card on entry. That's something I would want for Hit as well, for sure. So honestly, this exact slot 2 effect from Rose's equip could work for Hit, but you wouldn't really want the blast arts cost down. I don't even know why they gave this to Rose, to be honest. Maybe give him minus 5 to strike or something like that, because hit builds up. I think it's cost down when the enemy uses cards, I believe. I don't remember. Oh no, it's when he enters the battlefield. Yeah, that's right. Don't remember exactly everything he does in every instance, but this Hit, by the way, probably is like in my top 3 favorite characters ever released for the game, just because of how unique his time skip belt, and still one of the most, like, still one of the coolest abilities they've ever introduced. Slot 3, once the unique gauge is full, randomly draws 2 new cards and you threw fewer cards, shortens ally sub count by 10 when enemy activates ultimate arts, awakened arts, or rising rush. Yeah, so this is them trying to make him more of a resilient character. This is, again, Rose's equip. Let me just take a look at Gogeta's here. Own key by 60 on entry, has this disrupt effect. Slot 3, type neutral blue. Yeah. I think I'm going to be looking more at Gogeta's for what I'd want for Hit. So for Hit, I think a big thing for this character is type neutral. Type neutral is a necessity for this character, not only defensively, but offensively too. So looking at how they did this for Gogeta, nullifies own unfavorable element factors for 10 counts every time this character uses a special move arts card. Like, this is Gogeta going type neutral, both offensively and defensively whenever he uses a blue card. Something like that for Hit could work really well. Blue is an extremely powerful color right now, and that really has hurt the usability of a lot of the red characters. Not like there were a lot of red characters to begin with, but it's kind of tough to introduce a new red character and have them be like mega dominant without having easy access to type neutral, just because of how strong the blues are. Super Saiyan 4 Goku, UI Goku, right? It's tough. It is. So some kind of easy access to type neutral on this character, I think, would help him a lot. And then we have, of course, the 7-star slot 4 ability here. So for Rose, he gets not type neutral, cover null for 15 counts when he enters the battlefield. This is kind of like, honestly, almost like the best ability they gave him, which is pretty like they did this for Rose, and then like a month later they're like, yeah, we're not doing cover null for long periods of time anymore. So I don't think they would do something quite that crazy for Hit. I think Hit does need cover null on entry, because you can't just you just simply can't be a character without cover null on entry right now. Well, you can't be an effective character without cover null on entry right now, unless you're fulfilling like some like super defensive or support role. But for Hit, I think maybe like 5 counts of cover null on entry is probably what we can expect if they do a platinum equipment for Hit, right? Hit, the only way Hit gets cover null right now is via the green card. Hit gets, what is it? 10 10 counts of cover null from the green card, obviously when the time skip is not ready. So I think him only having access to this really holds the character back a lot, especially if you're a character that needs to do like use cards to build up. Let me just see. Yeah, applies the following effects to self every time this character uses an arts card. So he gets 10 activations of -3% to enemy sustained damage cut effects, and he's getting 3% to critical rate. So he's stacking up to 30% sustained damage cut penetration, which is now damage guard penetration, and 30% to critical rate. But you have to use 10 cards. That is a lot, especially, again, for a character that does not have cover null on entry. So yeah, that is something we are definitely looking for on this equip. So some kind of type neutral, some kind of cover null on entry would be really, really helpful for this character. I think him drawing a card on entry would also be really helpful. This guy does have base card draw speed, but that's it, right? He's not really getting cards from other means here either. Rose, what else he does is 60% unique gauge when he uses a card for the first time. The following effects occur when remaining else 50% below. So he has the disrupt. They gave him like a half HP disrupt. For Gogeta, they did the same thing, but that's where is it? That's here, right? When they gave him the disrupt in slot 3, so it doesn't really matter where they do it. Gogeta got 120% damage. He got cover null for 10 counts when entering the battlefield. Yeah, this is something like this is what I expect for hit. Again, Rose got 15 counts. Gogeta got 10 counts. I expect hit to get like 5 because they just don't do this anymore, right? 10 counts of cover null entry is not something they do anymore. So I expect 5 on this. Gogeta gets 1 card draw speed level for 10 counts, and nullified key reduction is interesting. Something else they could do for hit for sure is card protection. Card protection is going to be actually like a pretty important thing for this character because, again, you need to use cards to build them up, and also because of the way the time skip works. The time skip is not like some ability you use like Beast Gohan where you press the active skill, like the bottom right. It's called, I think it's called the active gauge, right? That's what they call it. Basically the glorified synchro mechanic. You press like the separately generated part of the screen, and you don't actually have to have like a card in your hand to use the ability. Hit's time skip is activated via the green card, right? So you have to, first of all, have a green card in your hand, and then you have to have the green card not get destroyed. I think card destruction could be pretty important. Most of the time, you're not like comboing into this. Most of the time, you're using a different character, buying time for Hit's gauge to fill up, and then swapping into Hit, and then using the green card immediately that he draws guaranteed when he has the full gauge up. But I think card protection could also be very helpful for him. For me, there is going to be one thing that I'm looking for on a platinum equipment for Ultra Hit more than anything else, and it is going to be 2 things, actually. The first one is going to be some way to charge the unique gauge faster. Hit's unique gauge can charge faster if you use green cards before it's fully charged. So let's see here, where is it? Yeah, here, charge the unique gauge by 10%, activates 3 times. I think what they could do, I mean, the craziest possible thing they could do for Hit, I don't think they would do this. I don't think they would do this, but I don't think there's a 0% chance that they would do this, is give him a full unique gauge at the start of the fight. If it was up to me, I mean, I probably wouldn't do it, but it would be kind of interesting if they did that, right? You enter immediately, you have a green card in your hand because you got lucky. You just like tackle into a time skip and you just kill somebody immediately. I don't think they would do that because it would add a little bit, I think, too much RNG to the beginning of the fight. But then again, this is the same development team that made the Diamond team, so I don't know. But that's one thing they could do. I think a more likely scenario is maybe like every time he enters the battlefield, he gets like a percent charge to his unique gauge. So like here, right? He already has this. Applies the following effects self when this character enters the battlefield. So he's getting damage every time he enters. He's getting cost down every time he enters. He's getting extra damage versus blue every time he enters. So he already has this mechanic in his unique ability where he's getting additional perks for entering the battlefield multiple times. This is why I like starting with this character, because when you start with the character, this counts as a swap in. So he's already getting 1 activation on this ability right away. I think, again, what they could do to his unique equip, or his platinum equipment, is they could just give it an effect. Maybe he charges his unique gauge by 20% every time he enters the battlefield. That's something I'd want to see. And then the second thing I'd want to see is draws an ultimate once the time skip is activated. The strongest part about the time skip is the fact that you can chain basically a free ult in on whoever gets time skipped, right? The way the time skip works, actually, we can just read this. Activates the time skip mode on hit, preventing all the characters from making any actions for a set number of timer counts. Own unique gauge gradually decreases while in time skip mode. Activating a finishing attack when own unique gauge reaches 0%, dealing impact damage and ending time skip mode. So there's like kind of like a, once the unique gauge, if you haven't seen any footage of hit, I mean, people who know how this character works, don't need me to explain this to them, but your unique gauge gets filled, you use the green card. Once your unique gauge is filled up and it activates the time skip, the enemies can't move for a certain amount of timer counts. The unique gauge will start like gradually depleting throughout the time skip, and once it reaches 0, it automatically sort of like puts you into the cutscene of him doing the finishing attack. Any damage inflicted during the time skip mode will be accumulated and added to the damage dealt during the finishing attack. If you use an ultimate during the time skip, you will automatically end the time skip, even if you still have more time left to use in it. But the best way to do as much damage as possible is clearly to pop the main ability during the time skip and then use the ultimate. Right? Hit even gets ultimate damage here. He's getting extra crit here. And then I think the ultimate does give him his vanish if you have a defeated ally, right? No, it's just always. Yeah, it gets vanish back when you use it here. Obviously, it's going to nullify endurance here. It gets more critical rate. Yeah, so there's a lot of crit built into this character as well. If they wanted to go super crazy with this character, they could give him like critical damage on the platinum equipment. I don't think they would do that, but really just like drawing an ultimate whenever, I guess maybe it would probably be limited to once, because every time would be kind of insane. Because if you do give him the percent like unique gauge increase every time he enters, he'd be able to do like 3 time skips in a fight, which would be insane. But I think maybe like for the first time you use the time skip, hit will draw an ultimate next or something. That would be a really, really powerful ability for this character. Because then on the next time skip, you could then use the main ability to draw the second ult. So that's what I'd want to see here. Again, if they want to like break the game, I guess kind of, they could just have him start with a full unique gauge on his platinum equipment. That would be crazy. That would be the biggest buff they could possibly do, is they make him start with a full unique gauge. But obviously he's going to need stats. He's going to need some kind of damage. I don't think they'd give him a ton of damage. They'd probably go down the path of something like this, where he gets like 60% damage inflicted, because if you add up his damage, he's getting 110 here. He's getting 30 here. Remember, this is twice, so this is 60. So he's going to be at 170. Other than that, he's stacking up damage through other means, like critical rate, damage guard penetration, and that's pretty much it. There's no other place in here where he is getting damage. Yeah, it's just that, and then critical rate, and then ultimate damage. So yeah, I think something like 80% damage on the equip probably would be good enough, because it's going to be 60, he's going to be 170, so that'd be 80. So he'd be like 250% damage. Like, that seems about right for like the current environment right now, plus all the other things he's getting. He's getting 60% damage to blue characters. This is actually really good as well, especially right now. 60% extra damage inflicted to blue characters, right? So he's going to be at 60, 120. He'd be at 230% max damage to blue characters, even without any platinum equipment right now. That's actually not horrible considering how old he is, but that is what I'm expecting here. I think if I had to say the most likely outcome for this platinum equipment, it would be hit, followed by Super Vegito, and then a less likely chance for like Kid Buu or Namek Goku or Gogeta Blue. That's what I'm going to say. That's if they actually do Vegeta, I would be so surprised. Like, it wouldn't really make sense to me, but you guys can let me know what you think. We should be getting the official reveal on who this is going to be for tomorrow. Who do you guys want to see it for, and what kind of abilities do you want to see on this? Hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next one.